No sounds in the flat. Sal's out already. I scroll idly on my phone as I put the coffee pot back in the cupboard. There are few notifications on Prowler. No point in replying to any of them at this time of day, though. It would feel a bit weird doing that right after seeing Griff, too. I lay back on the sofa, looking up to the ceiling. Patchy orange paint. Proper half-arsed landlord job. What to do, then? Could call up Joe or Renzo, I suppose. Renzo said he wanted to... Ow! Something sharp in your back. Standing, I pull open the sofa cushions to find the cause. Ah! I pull a hardback book from between the pillows. On the cover, a goat in plain robes stands serenely with his eyes closed as a blurry city crowd passes around him. An old-fashioned font spells out, "Profit margins, business secrets of the Mercian monks." It looks serious. It looks boring. No. Seems a bit dry. I fold the book under my arm and knock on Sal's bedroom door. Definitely out. Probably at her mom's already. I try to give her a call. It rings out. She doesn't like going to her parents that much. It would be good to save her another visit. I spin my phone between a finger and thumb in the quiet room. Not much else going on, I suppose. A thick skin of ivy covers the stone walls around me. The shadow of a great sycamore makes the driveway feel like a tunnel. The Rosevale family have gone to great lengths to keep this small patch of land to themselves. Even with the gates open, it sends a signal. This is our fortress. We will allow you only as a guest. The overgrowth of the path gives way to a graveled area. Carefully preened rose bushes mark the edges of the old house, leading round to a tall wooden fence. The garden is the most private place of all. 2 cars stand beside it. The first is compact and angular with a high roof, pale orange. It looks modest at a first glance until you notice how well it's been kept for a car of its age. It's simple but sturdy. Wouldn't look out of place in the backdrop of a 70s detective film. A badge on the back reads, Caro Metro. The second car makes more of a statement. It's older, finer. Sunlight drips over the rippled air vents of the curved bonnet, painted in deep, doorless racing green. Its wheels bear spokes around a 3-pointed propeller motif. The soft convertible roof lays back, meeting a small trunk about large enough for a single suitcase. Chrome metal piping runs along its edges. The steering wheel looks to be wooden. There's no text to be seen, but the front bonnet bears the statuesque figure leaping forward. I remember seeing this parked at school. Mr. Rosevale's car. You don't think he's in, do you? I grind through the gravel, up to the darkened wooden door. The house isn't particularly large, but everything around it makes it feel like a grand mansion. The door knocker hangs between 2 broad, time-worn brass antlers. The cold weight of the metal makes me feel like I'm some orphan come to beg for asylum. The silence after feels intrusive. An instinct in my chest tells me to turn back down the path like a little boy playing Knock Knock Ginger. I keep the book tucked firm under my arm. I wait. Knock again. Sal? Are you... The metal slips from my fingers as the door pulls inwards. A lithe figure stands stiff against the dull amber light of the hallway. Oh. Good afternoon, Mr. Coates. I must say I wasn't expecting you. Sorry. Uh. Me neither, Mrs. Rosevale. My thumb drifts over the cover of the book. I want to bring it up, but words are difficult. The old doe's smile is envelope thin, sealed with a sharp tongue. Her eyebrows raise, the shadow cast by her sockets falling on dusky eyeshadow. Looking for Sally, perhaps? Yes, also... Before I can bring up the book, she gestures to her side. Please, come in. My feet move before my thoughts. Sally's just... upstairs at the moment. I don't suppose I could interest you in a spot of afternoon tea. When somebody of this class offers you tea, you don't turn it down. It's a peace offering. Sal will probably want to go as soon as she can. Don't keep her around drinking tea with her mum. Plus, the tea they have is probably that dusty old stuff. Which is why you should have some. Get used to it. You're not a kid. Decline. Thanks. Thank you for the offer, Mrs. Rosevale, but I'm just here to meet Sal, then I'll be off. I see. Well, no matter. I should be meeting my husband soon. Do make yourself comfortable in the living room, Mr. Coates. I'll call Sally down. As she turns, I remember. Oh, and one other thing. I hold out the book. Sal meant to return this, but she couldn't find it this morning. She takes the book slowly, turning it over in her hands. Oh, I do hope she found it helpful for her business. I would love to see it become a little more lucrative for her. Searching for a response, I can't help but let her words hang. Her eyes pinch for a moment, cheeks lifting. Thank you for bringing this round for her. I'll fetch her now. As Gwyneth trots down the hall, I untie my boots by the door, placing them beside a few pairs of shoes, all cloven at the tip. They're plain, yet finely crafted, well shined with a 3-inch heel, a similar design in varying colors. Sal's scuffed, once white baseball trainers sit at the end of the procession line. I pace quietly down the hall towards the living room. Lining the walls are photographs and silhouettes of relatives past, a wintry forest of antlers. There's notable absence at the end of the line, a space held for the family's current patriarch, Arthur Rosevale. The clock in the headmaster's office always seems to tick slower than others. It's a space of apprehension. Though the room itself holds nothing foreboding, being there usually means you've done something wrong. And until this point, I'd only been here when I'd gotten too tied up in one of Joe and Billy's class clown double acts. This time was more severe. Everything smells of iron, my nose bloody. Lukewarm water soaks the collar of my uniform. The ice pack pressed to my temple hadn't been replaced in over an hour. Better than nothing. The hit wasn't too bad, but having both my parents here isn't helping the headache. Mr. and Mrs. Coates, I apologize for calling you in on such short notice. My mum's northern accent speaks in soft contrast to my father's punchy, southwesterly gruffness. Her hand rests firmly on my shoulder, flecks of red beneath it. It's all right, we understand. It wasn't the best timing, but... Above my head, I can feel my mum's glance snap towards my father. But this is serious. Can you tell us what happened? Mr. Rosevale stiffens his back. I've heard accounts from Mr. Mullion, from your son, and from Lee Boscawen, who I understand is the boy who initiated the falling out. Isn't that right, Riley? I nod my head. Next, stiff. I know how the story develops. Riley's told us about Lee before. Council house boy, not surprised. Dad. Am I wrong? That lot are always causing you trouble. Joe's in a council house and he's okay. Joe Crofty, the Kestrel boy? You're in year 8 and he's already going through a pack a day. Jacob, please. The tension in my mom's hand stiffens, then releases as she looks back to me. I know he's your friend, Riley, but we do think Joe is maybe not the best person to be hanging around with. Did he have something to do with this? She turns to the stag. He waves his hand loosely. We're aware of Joe's behavior. He can be a distraction for Riley, but this issue doesn't concern him. Carry on, then. What happened? The thick upholstery of the headmaster's chair creaks as he leans back. The shadows of his broad antlers climb the wall like vines. Between art and history lessons today, around 11, an argument broke out between Lee and Riley. Lee says he didn't start it, but, well. He gives a knowing glance to my father, acknowledging his earlier claim. It's understood that Lee made a rather rude remark about Riley and... What did he say? I won't repeat the exact wording, but... No, what did he say? It is important. We'll get to that in a moment. Riley then He called me a faggot. Tension on my shoulder again. Dad looks at me for the first time since he entered the room. Riley! What? It's what he said. Yes. Well, whatever was said was... What else did he say? I shrug. Stuff about, if I suck dick, take it up the arse, wear girls' underwear. My father shakes his head. I'm not sure if it's at the words themselves or the fact they were leveled at me. Thank you, Riley. We'll discuss what was said later. He leans forward again, elbows on the mahogany desk. This then prompted Riley to retaliate physically. Riley punched him. What? The hand lifts from my shoulder. I sink lower in the rough plastic chair. We taught you better than that. You don't hit people because they were rude to you. No, in this case you should have. All eyes, including mine, turn to my father. Jacob, you can't be serious. Sorry, love, but if a bloke called me that, I'd knock his bloody teeth out. People like Boscawen, lad, need a lesson or they'll act like that all their life. Mr. Rosevale writes something in a notebook. Oh, what, Arthur? You gonna go all politically correct on me? Though I understand the response, Mr. Coates, that doesn't make it right. Children do tend to fight at this age, but Riley's usually a good boy. This response was out of the ordinary. Children? So patronizing. So if it's normal for a boy to act up, it gets brushed off, but if a good one retaliates, it's not? I assure you, Riley isn't in very much trouble. We've given him some detention, but that's not the reason you've been called in. Detention away from Lee, I hope? Yes. As you can see, Riley wasn't the only one to strike a blow. It had to get broken up by Mr. Mullion. The detention will be separate. What I'd like to talk about is the reason why your son has received this kind of attention. Go on. Are you familiar with the sort of clothing Riley has been wearing on non-school uniform days? What do you mean? Well, on one occasion he wore these sort of fishnet glove sort of things. He runs his hand from wrist to elbow. More recently, he came to school in a girl's skirt. He what? I assume my father is looking at me now. I'm busy tracing the patterns in the linoleum floor. He was asked to change back into trousers, which he did. There was a fair bit of name-calling, but nothing we thought would be worth bringing you in over. There must be some kind of mistake. He doesn't wear that sort of thing at home. Non-school uniform days are there to give students a chance to express themselves, but this is exactly why I personally oppose them. It invites too much opportunity for disagreement. My father exhales slowly. I keep tracing the interlocking lines around my feet. There's also the matter of his area of focus in art lessons. Mr. Rosevale produces a large plastic wallet. The material is opaque, but I recognize the colors and shapes through it. Hey! That's my art class folio! Before I can retaliate, Mr. Rosevale pulls odd-sized pieces of paper out onto the table. He holds one of them up. A male figure poses, nude and headless like an ancient statue stripped of its paint. He flips to another one. Smaller paper. A man lies face down. A long tail trails from his hindquarters like low-lying clouds over hills. The next is sheer full frontal. Each one is rendered in chalk, their edges blurred against the earthy paper. Mr. Rosevale slips the pieces back into the plastic sleeves like an officer handling evidence at a crime scene. He pushes it towards our side of the table with one finger. Before you ask, no, we do not provide students with figure drawing classes. Riley must have found inspiration from elsewhere. My father flips through each page. His expression stiffens. There's no doubt that Riley's a skilled artist. In fact, Mrs. Mevagissy has suggested he take it for one of his optional GCSE courses next year. However, this recurring subject matter has made some of the other students uncomfortable. I believe it would be in his best interest to broaden his scope, for the sake of avoiding situations like the one today. I sniff. Still smells of blood. Riley, do you want to tell us something? Not here, love. Mum's tone fades to a whisper. What? Would there be a problem if he's... well, you know? My shoulders feel as if they're a single solid bar of metal. My father's tone grows defensive. Course not. Look, I don't mind people being that way. There's a gay bloke at work. He's fine. He doesn't go mincing around in skirts and shoving it in your face. And that's exactly what I mean. Exactly that I mean here. Mum sighs, turning her attention back to me. I do have to agree with Mr. Rosevale that these drawings aren't appropriate for art lessons. Couldn't you do some landscapes? There's so many beautiful views around here. Everyone in Kerneth paints harbors and boats and fields. It's boring. Well, if you carry on this sort of thing, then it's no wonder those rumors have sprung up. I thought you just said it wouldn't be a problem if that was true. If you liked boys, Riley, we don't mind that. It's just this flaunting, dressing up, these sex-obsessed drawings. He waves the paper like a flag in a storm. You're making yourself a target, Riley. And you're too young to be making these decisions about yourself. Decisions? I think it might be best if we all just... What decisions? We just want you to be safe. What decision have I made? It's no wonder that boy said what he did. My lower lip trembles with a dormant rage. It's a feeling I know, but I don't know where from. It's turned molten by the heat of the moment. It bubbles on the back of my tongue. It drips from bruised nostrils. I need to... Though my voice shakes, I say it firmly. Well, if it's no wonder, then maybe he's right. What? Maybe next time I won't defend myself, because I'll know that you think he's right too. What are you saying? I am saying, congratulations. You raised a faggot. Riley! The headmaster's voice fills the room. It knocks all the power out of me, leaving only the tears on my cheeks. Mr. and Mrs. Coates, as you can see, Riley's in a rather hormonal phase. It's normal for it to lead to a degree of confusion. I won't question your parenting methods, but if I were you, I'd have a long talk with him about this behavior. At home. Silence for a moment. Then, my mother does what my mother does best. She sticks a stiff and formal paw over the desk. Thank you for bringing this to our attention, Mr. Rosevale. We'll talk with Riley. He accepts the gesture. Dad's eyes catch me. He tells me without a word. We're having a talk. At home. There's a noise from upstairs. The old wood of the house lets the bassy tones of raised voices bleed through. They've been up there for a while. I take a few steps up towards the landing. You don't want to intrude, but you do want to listen. I didn't invite him here. Can you stop? He came looking for you. What if your father was in? What if he was in? Riley didn't do anything. Oh, of course he didn't. Riley defended him. He took his time with it. He made things look worse, if anything. What do you expect him to do? You remember how it all came up? That shit was rough as fuck for him. Language, Sally. It started because of that boy's behavior. This is extremely uncomfortable. Should have kept your nose out. A door upstairs opens. The voices get clearer. Footsteps. Back down the stairs. Oh, Sally, don't be dramatic about this. You think I'm being dramatic? She tries to hush her voice, but it comes out just as loud through gritted teeth. All he did was come back to return a book. You invited him in. Some of us still have manners, Sally. Yeah? Where are yours? Get down. Sally. Sal appears at the top of the stairs. I'm by the door putting my boots on. She hurries down with a stiff look on her face. Everything all right, Sal? A breath escapes from tight lungs. Yeah. She comes over to me and pulls on her trainers. Her mother descends the stairs with slow, pronounced footsteps, her hand on the railing. You know, I raised you better than to... What now? She yanks at the laces like she's trying to garrote her ankle. Sally, we have a guest. He's leaving. She cranks the door handle, swinging it open. Her eyes push me outside. You know this isn't any way to treat me when I've just lent you the car. Not to mention the money for your flat. You could be a little more grateful. Sal trots out to stand beside me. It's not your car. It's Dad's. Like everything else here. Sal walks ahead of me, feet twisting in the gravel as she fumbles with the car keys in her hand. Sal, are you... Get in the car, Riley. Do as she says. Stone-faced, she enters the driver's side with stiff motions. I pull on the passenger side door. I feel the click reverberate. Come on, get in! I like when they cut off his inner monologue. It's fun. The drive has been quiet. Sal hasn't said anything. She's driven us out of town. Mossy green hedges pass us on either side. Sal? Yeah. Oh, where are we going? She keeps her eyes on the road. Something simmers under her blank expression. Need some space. Her fingers click a button repeatedly near the steering wheel. It doesn't seem to do anything. Do you want to drop me somewhere? I don't want to make you feel... Just... let me get there. Some sadness creeps into her voice. Please? Sure. She slows down, pulling off the road and stopping on a flat, grassy patch overlooking the headlands. She pulls up the handbrake, turns the ignition off. She continues fiddling with some buttons on the dashboard. Aircon, radio volume, windshield wipers. Nothing responds. She repeats short phrases and numbers under her breath. Oh. She keeps muttering, keeps pressing buttons. Sal, do you want me to give you a moment? Her fingers tap on more of the non-responsive dials and switches. She nods abruptly. I put a good amount of space between myself and the car. Sal's done this before, but I can't remember the last time I saw her in this state. It's a self-soothing thing. We all have our methods. I knew seeing her mom was going to be stressful. Does she always end up this upset afterwards? It's because you were there. It was always a possible outcome that Gwyneth would react that way. A few minutes tick by before I hear the airlock open. Sal wanders out. She looks exhausted. I walk over to sit beside her on the car bonnet. She breathes out slowly. Man, I wish I still smoked. Nah, you don't. You'd end up like Joe. She unclips the carabiner from her belt and turns it between her fingers. Joe's got his reasons. What like? Shouldn't repeat it. I don't think he remembers telling me. He only talks about it when he's drunk. Is that what was going on my last birthday? Pretty much. I didn't know you talked to Joe about stuff. She shrugs. I do what I can. How are things with Griff? Surprisingly good. Apart from one moment. I made it weird. She chuckles involuntarily. What did you say? I told him how much I've missed him. Ah. If it makes you feel any better, I think he probably knew already. I can't help but laugh a little. Is it that obvious? Riley, I love you, but you were not subtle. Even I can spot your tells. I lean back on the polished metal, eyes low-lidded with a sarcastic and sultry smile. You love me? Sal leans back alongside me, her chin in her palm. Remember how our parents used to think that we were going to be boyfriend and girlfriend? Oh my god. See, there's someone who can't read me. Yeah. Maybe if I went the way Billy did. Though, I don't think either of our parents would have been keen on that. I was gonna ask if your mom's come round on the lesbian thing, but I'm guessing she doesn't have a choice. But at least it's just passive aggression. That's alright. Doesn't really acknowledge it. Get many others around here? She turns to stare me dead in the eye. Lesbians are everywhere, Riley. We strike when you least expect. Really, though? I don't think I've ever seen you with anyone. Must have something going on. She turns back to face the sea. I've tried casual things. It's not my style. What about non-casual things? Liked a girl a while ago. Might have worked. Work got in the way. Your work or hers? If you can believe it, hers. Sorry about that. Surely it can't be that busy. It's more the kind of work she went for. Go on, tell me. It just didn't fit for me. I never told her how I felt. Sometimes you've got to leave that stuff where it is. Is that what you think I should do with Griff? She slips the carabiner back onto her belt loop, kicking her feet slowly against the bumper. People think I tell others what to do because I want everything to go my way. I don't. I do it because I'm tired of seeing my friends unhappy. I want to help them avoid that. Sal stands up from the bonnet and starts walking back around to the driver's seat. I want to see you happy. I don't know if Griff will do that or not. Well, if it doesn't work out, we can go on a date together instead. It's just us girls. I'll even throw on some fishnets for you. Sal snorts, clicking the door open. Appreciate it. They'd suit you. I walk round to the passenger side. I'm glad she's feeling better. Sal and me look back at the wonky little secondhand shop near the waterfront. I'm surprised that place is still open. It's got to be a front for something. Meth lab? Secret death cult? Mafia? Shopkeeper had that vibe. I'm carrying a plastic bag with colorful wrapping paper and tape in it. Sal holds an old, worn-down captain's cap. She turns it over in her hands. You think you'll like this, right? Of course, it's funny. Funny? I was thinking more like, hey Renzo, keep going. You'll be captain soon. It's also a real one, not some costume piece. Do you think it comes off as us making fun of him? You're overthinking it. He'll love it. Who's gonna love what? Oh, hi Rance. Sal and I turn to Renzo standing behind us. Sal quickly stows the hat behind her back. Renzo! You alright, Rybread? Yes, grand. You're... grand. We were talking about... She's not gonna think of anything convincing. Do your best. Come on, first thing that comes to your mind. Griff! Griff! Who's that? He's my... friend. Ouch. Yeah, he's stopping by this week. We got him a gift. Renzo spots the wrapping paper sticking out of the bag. Oh, what'd you get? Oh, we haven't gotten it yet. We were about to go shop for it. You're going in the second-hand place. He nods to the place we just came out of. A bit cheap of you, isn't it? We're going to check up the main street. This story isn't very believable so far. Wanna come with? Sal's eyes tell me that was the wrong decision. I wish I could. I've got to head back up to my mom's. Richard's coming over for dinner. And Eliza too, I think. Hope it goes well, though. What sort of stuff does he like? Sal's flick tail flutters against the fabric of the cap behind her. She looks at me to fill in the blank. He likes... art would be a safe bet. A print, maybe? Something musical could be more personal. What did you do most with him? Walking around. Let's say art. We thought we'd look at that little gallery up the street, see if there's any landscape prints. Well, if anyone's gonna pick him out something nice, it'd be you. Ranzo kicks his big black boots on the stone floor. He seems reluctant to leave. Well, have a good one. I'll see you at Shinbone. See you out there, Ranzo. Ranzo carries on up the road towards the docks. Oh my god. We can't give him this. He's gonna hate it. What? Of course he isn't. You heard what he said about buying from the second-hand shop? Look, he doesn't need to know that. It's the thought that counts, isn't it? This is why I don't do surprises. It's already so complicated. Why'd you make this a surprise then? I feel like... No, never mind. What is it? I just wanted to be a bit more spontaneous. I feel like everyone sees me as being too color by numbers, that I'm not fun. Nobody thinks that. Debatable. She's a lot more reliable than your fun friends. You're dependable. You know how to get things done. People appreciate that. I felt bad after what happened with Joe at the wheelhouse. Asked him to meet me at Shinbone early to smooth things out. Do you think it's necessary? I don't think he'd hold a grudge about it. I don't know about that. I think he'd ruminate on it if I didn't say something. If you think it's the right call, go ahead. Okay, cool. I'll be about half an hour with him. Would you mind wrapping the gift while I talk to him? Sure, no problem. Okay, cool. I'll be about half an hour... What? Did I go back? Oh yeah, I probably did. Hope it goes well. Thanks, Rye. I haven't seen Sal this anxious in a while. She really is tied in all sorts of knots trying to make sure everything goes smoothly. And perhaps it's what's needed to keep everything together. Maybe that's always been the case. I kneel down on the pavement by Shinbone Alley, using my boot to make sure the wrapping paper doesn't blow away. The cap was harder to wrap than I thought it would be. I think I used half a roll of tape. As I head down to the bar with it tucked under my arm, something starts to bug me. Why couldn't you think of a decent gift for Griff? You pined after him for all this time, yet you don't really know what he likes, do you? You picked something that you like. You were on the spot, and it's been a really long time. You don't have to worry about that at the moment. It's not like it's his birthday or anything. When is his birthday? Interesting. Yeah, I think jumping into Shinbone's a good place for the next episode to start. So, as always, I hope you enjoyed and thanks for watching. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.